Thank you for your time, bro.
How's it going?
No, I'm chilling. You know how I am. How are you?
Oh, life has been amazing. Just
Yeah?
blessings on blessings on blessings.
Yeah, I believe that. I believe
hmm
that. Look at you, Mr. UFT.
Come on, I have to
Yeah.
represent, I got to represent for the squad.
How was it?
Oh my God, what an amazing experience. The
Yeah.
coaches like from day one, they like welcomed me in. Like as soon as I like got in, they were like, "Welcome to the team," and like
Oh.
yeah, it was amazing from that. And then actual training camp, just like to getting to experience that type of environment was amazing and like
Yeah.
incredibly like highly competitive, but also like rooted in love and trust and respect. And that's one thing that Coach Darrell Adams talks about every day is respect, trust, and love
Mm.
with the team. And I resonated with that immediately. So like from right there, I kind of knew like, okay, I belong here. Like this is my home. Like I understand everything, and like I fit in, and I loved it from there. And then from there, it's just you get what you give, right? So you come every day with the energy, the passion, and the grit, and everything that comes after it is a product of what you bring to the table. So it
Oh,
was
that's
amazing.
awesome. That's awesome, bro. No, yeah, I
Yeah,
mean you deserve it. I
thank
knew
you.
I knew you were gonna get the gig. There was no doubt. Like I knew you were gonna get the gig. Was there
Thank
something
you.
that was surprising? Like, because it's your
Hmm.
first time coaching in the collegiate level.
Yes. Um, how every type of coaching that I've seen from youth, community, high school is kind of on the same like level. It's just how much more intense it gets, like the more things add on. Like a university level like at youth level, it's just the kids come from school, it's after school, and then they get to come out for the practice for 2 hours and have fun and learn the game. But at the university level, like it's 8 a.m. meetings, and then a lift, and then meetings again, and then practice, and then therapy afterwards, and then add all of that plus the schoolwork. It's a whole different like intensity level. Just I think it kind of like it's a litmus test of how much can you actually take, like how much are you able to work past and all the adversity that comes with it, and then are you really made for this? So I think that was the biggest kind of surprise.
Hmm. Are you, excuse me, because I mean, we're players. And then,
Mm-hmm.
so do you kind of look at yourself like when you were coaching a little bit, were you kind of like, could I have done this as a player? Yeah.
Absolutely, there is that part of my mind that's like, if I really just like dug in and really believed in myself and like really worked for it, I definitely think I could have made it there. But I also think on a certain level, like everything happens for a reason, so that I didn't go to U Sports, so that however many years later, I'm able to step in to that same environment and still thrive. Right. I think
Mm.
that was my path just from the get go. So in the short term, it's like, oh, like I would have loved to strap on and uh go out and run out the tunnel with those guys there. But then I also feel like my purpose in life that I found, a couple of years ago with coaching, this is what I was actually meant to do. So in that part, that kind of part, I find solace in. So I don't really have any regrets, sort of say. I just kind of enjoy the time, and I don't like to live in the past too much. I'm just in the present. So the present is I get to coach at a university level without actually having to play university football, and I'm respected, and my voice matters, and I get to do all these great things because of it. So from
Mm.
that point, I'm like, I'm okay. There
Yeah.
could be worse things that ever happen, so I'm okay with
Yeah.
it.
No, and I mean like I do think it's kind of a beautiful thing as well because
hmm
you as a player, you have that feeling, and
hmm
so it just means you love the game.
Oh yeah, this game has been such a big important part of my life, with the relationships that I've had, and the things I've been able to learn from football. That's why I'm such a big advocate for it. That every youth that can play football, I think they should, just because of the life lessons that you learn. Even if you don't go on to play university, if you get to go out there and deal with adversity and push through it and create some really great friendships through it, I think that's worth it just on a base level.
I mean, you and I mean, I'm biased, but But
Yep.
if I can highlight football, I'll always highlight football. Like
Absolutely.
there's just a special place in my heart. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and
Absolutely.
yeah, but I'm just so happy that I get a chance to speak with you now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're
Yep.
catching up and now, I'm growing, you're growing. That's so awesome. And we grew up
We're
together and um when I think of you, I think of development, like especially
mm,
with youth coaches matter.
mm-hmm. Yep.
Um, and I know you're not gonna be a youth coach forever, but I think
Oh no, no. If I can coach youth forever, I will. Like even
really,
even if I get to the very top level of
yeah.
football, whatever that is, I still want to coach youth.
How
I
come?
the coaching the youth has just been it's helped me grow as a man. Um it's amazing for me to see, at that very bottom level that these kids care about football, and I cared about football and I still care about football. And now this new generation, they care.
Mm,
And it just goes on and on and on. And just to have your legacy impact so many people,
mhm,
especially, and, start their lives off in such a great way, I don't think I could ever give that up, honestly. And I
mm,
want to, like, with all the experience that I'm gaining now, with everything that I'm doing at the higher levels, I want to take all of that information and bring it back to the youth and give them great coaching, great experience, a great leader, and, pay it forward for that next generation.
No, and I think that's awesome. And I think it takes a certain type of person, certain type of coach to be able to
Mm-hmm.
coach youth sport. Uh because they're the foundation, right? And they're the next
Mm-hmm.
generation. And they're
Yep.
really, really important. Um and
Absolutely.
and I think when I think of you and I think of youth, not just football, but youth sport, it's like especially with, we understand football, we understand the type of people who play football.
Yes.
They need strong, caring male figures.
Absolutely.
Those boys need it. So
uh, it was done for me, and I only feel I have a responsibility to pay that forward for the next kid, and then the kid after that, and the kid that I give that for, then he gives it to another kid, and like it just
mm,
goes on and on and on. So
yeah,
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 absolutely.
for sure. What's now looking at your journey up until this point,
Hmm.
what's something, it's a tough question, but what's something
Hmm.
that you're really proud of?
Oof, wow. What am I most proud of?
You can take your time too. It's okay.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I think probably, yeah, summer 2023, my very first season. It was a small team development. None of these kids have ever played football before or tackle football. And we were just learning, and I was still, learning how to coach, and that was my first kind of step into it. But one of those kids on that team, so this was 2 years ago, he's still playing football, and now he's being scouted by university coaches. He's in grade 11, and I coached him all the way back in grade 8. And to instill that love for football and to see him progress all the way through now and just doing the right things, being a great community leader in his community, um, making great choices, and just being an all around good person. I feel like I had a little bit to do with that, and I'm incredibly proud that he gets to carry on that legacy.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. I
awesome.
like with all of, like, yeah, all of the wins, all of, like, the short term stuff. That's great, but I feel like the lasting impact that I've been able to have on some of these players and other coaches, I think that's what means more to me than anything.
And it's interesting that you say good decisions. You're proud that he's making good decisions. That's
Yeah.
tough, man. Like and now looking back, I mean, we're both still young, but
Hmm.
I think
When
looking back with a little bit of perspective, it's actually quite hard being young.
Absolutely.
I think,
Everything, and
yeah.
and especially now in this age with social media and
Mm,
a lot of outside forces trying to steer you down that wrong path. And even all through that, just saying, no, no, I'm not going to take the easy way. I'm going to, work my ass, work my tail off to, you know, be that good person that I know I am. And I
mhm,
think that kind of speaks more to really anything that can
mhm,
ever happen.
mhm. That's awesome. He might be your first college recruit.
Well, I've had a couple other ones. He's still
Oh,
in
have
grade
you?
11.
Have
Oh
you?
yeah.
Have you? Oh, okay. My bad. My bad. My bad.
No, no, you're good. You're good. No, just in the Halton region now in
Yeah.
Oakville and Burlington, Milton. There's just been some really fantastic athletes that I've been able to
Yeah.
connect with. And, one thing that we stress at U of T is, are they a good person? Are they confident? Are they a team person? How do they deal with adversity? And I think looking at those criteria, a lot of kids can play football like at a very high level, but who do we want to have rep our T and um, further our brand as a university
Mm,
and the reputation that we have. So just finding those right kids with those right criteria, and making sure the school stuff is taken care of, with U of T being ranked academically as we are in the like globally.
mm.
We want to make sure that everything else is taken care of, and then we can worry about the football stuff.
No, I think you make a really great point, and I think that's a really important point because I mean, when you're jumping from high school or amateur into collegiate, which is the next level, and then
Yeah.
because you're getting closer to the pro levels, I think understanding that it's more than just football, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and that that T on your
Yep.
chest or whatever symbol that is on your chest is actually a
Yep.
brand. It's actually
Yep.
there's money involved, and so
Absolutely. Yes.
if you go off doing something a little bit silly, and you got
You
that
know.
T on your chest.
Right.
You don't only make you look bad, you don't only make your last name look bad, but there's a
Yeah.
lot of people, a lot of money involved as well.
Exactly. It's the reputation and everything. So it's, getting those right people in and, a part of it. And I think that was a kind of part of why, Coach Darrell Adams brought me in and offered me the role of regional recruiter, because he's like, I need good people to find good people.
Mm.
And throughout training camp, he had a really great experience with me in training camp, just being out there. So he's like, I want to have people a part of this program that represent what we represent. And i I immediately resonated with that as well, so that's why I signed on to do this with this university. So
Yeah, for sure. And like I kind of my mind's kind of going in a few different directions, but and I
late
know
on me.
we could talk for hours, but I was wondering because I remember we were talking last time about because we know in football there's um a lot of different strong personalities typically on a football team. If we're gonna
Absolutely.
if we're gonna if we're gonna say it nicely, but how do you deal with like the problem child? Because not all coaches can.
Absolutely. It's easy to pass off on that kid without, investing and, figuring out what's actually going on. Um, you know, I definitely had my moments when I was in high school, and I definitely probably gave some coaches some gray hair, dealing with me for sure. I think most people have,
Mm.
but I think just getting down to the root of why they act, and why they do the things they do. I think you're, just by talking to them. I think a lot of people, and not even just talking, but more listening. I think if a lot of people, even outside of football, if we think we did like a little bit more listening, I think we'd be able to accomplish a lot more, just by understanding. Because even what's not being said is a tell, right? So, understanding kind of where they come from and what their disposition is, and how they deal with adversity versus not. And I think from there, just kind of understand it, because I think some of those people who deal with that sort of thing, I don't think they've had a lot of people who's listened to them. And I think if you give them the opportunity to be heard, I think they might actually tell you something. And then from there, then you can figure out what it is they need to make better choices, and then you just give it. So
No, I know. I think that's so awesome because sometimes those we both know like growing up with those types of players, like sometimes those
mhm,
guys are the most impactful people.
absolutely.
And
Yep.
so yeah, when I see you and then a couple other coaches that cross my mind that are able to that have the patience and the heart and the willingness to try to understand those players, I think that makes a really big difference.
Yep.
Um, so
Yep.
also we were talking before, so how do you earn trust from players as a coach? What's your style?
I don't think anything can be said to earn somebody's trust. I think you have to show them. I've always prided myself on how much I show up for my athletes, just physically. Um, I've been to events outside of football for some of my athletes, and I think that really shows that like, oh, this person is really invested in me. He's not just wanting to use me on the field. It's he actually cares. And one thing that I implemented this last summer with my Oakville Titans, I started off the very first practice, the very first time I got them all in a group, and I told them this: I respect you guys, I trust you guys, and I love you guys. You don't have to give me the love and the respect or the trust right now. As long as we have the respect between each other right now on this very first day, we can work on the trust and the love. And then by the end of the season, slowly but surely, they get to trust in you and they get to loving you and they show it to you. And seeing that at the end of the season is better than any payoff than it could be. It's really something to see, and then they trust you, and they're able to take advice from you more because they know that this guy isn't just for show. Like he really, he shows up for people.
Mm.
uh, and so that's how I start off every season now, with the respect, trust, and love. And I've had really great success with it. Both my D line groups this last couple of years have been such a tight knit group. I call them my demo crew, which is something I got from U of T. They're my demo crew, and yeah, we just have amazing times together. And practices, we get more out of them because they trust and they
Mm.
respect. Like
Mm.
they retain more, they work harder, and yeah, they're just yeah,
No, that's awesome, bro. Like, no, that's really touching, and that's very
yeah,
powerful that you do that at the beginning. Like
yep,
you set the expectations,
yep.
um,
But
and
then I
they're not.
follow through on them. Like
Yeah.
that's the you can like I say, it's not much that you can just say it. You actually have to show up. And so
Mhm.
setting that expectation, it's almost like they hold me accountable.
Yeah.
So if I don't show up for them, like I make it known that like I apologize to them. I talk with them about it. I explain to them and I give them reasoning. So it's not like they just don't know. Like we hold each other accountable in that group. They
Mhm.
hold me accountable and I hold them accountable. It's a two-way street there.
Mhm.
And I get way more out of them. So
Mhm.
it's hard work, but that's what I signed myself up for. And like I said, the payoff at the end of the season, championship season or not, it's amazing.
No, that's awesome. I remember you were saying how you 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 get in and you do the drill with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
I love it.
that's a big difference in my opinion. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like instead of just pointing your finger, you're like, no, 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 no. Let me get
Oh,
down. Let me do this. Like you guys are dying. I'm gonna
mm-hmm.
die with you, you know? Like
Yep. I'm running
that's
sprints with them in
yes.
conditioning. Like I'm showing them that like I'm not here just to yell at you for 2 hours. No, I'm like I want you to push me too. Like I'm trying to achieve something too. And like, I want to, and and honestly, it helps me get better into what I'm doing, right? Like if I do a drill with them, then I can like figure out, okay, so now I know what to look for when, their hand moves the right way. So it's just, yeah, I
Mm.
love it. And I
No.
just love, I love playing football. That's just ingrained. It's ingrained in you. I know it's ingrained in you. Like it's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. No, no, no. I really respect that. I think that makes a huge difference. Um, sorry, just looking at my notes.
You're good. Yeah.
What's one thing, or it doesn't have to be one thing, but what's something that a player does that instantly earned your respect? Or what's something a player can do to earn a coach's respect?
Um, I feel like that kind of varies with every coach. For me, it's not really about the respect. I find it more if they're able to be vulnerable, like if they're open about something with me, and they can talk to me about something. I feel like, okay, I really, I've captured this soul in terms of like they trust me and they're looking to me for advice. So I really need to make sure I,
Mm.
I show up for them. I think if they're able to, open up like that to you, I think you're kind of in that really good zone with them.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah, because yeah, that makes sense.
yeah. I
Because
know it's not really respect wise, but I think it's
no,
just kind of over over in general of
yeah,
just them trusting you and respecting you.
yeah, for sure. And I think like if somebody comes to you, especially if a player comes to you, I'm assuming I'm not a coach, but if a
Mhm.
player comes to you, with a question or like concerns or like, yo, coach, like really struggling
Mhm.
with X, Y, Z, then
Yep.
it gives you something to work with. Like, okay, I can help you. This is why I'm here, because I want
Yes.
to help.
Yes.
And I want to make the team better. And so it makes the team better when a player actually comes to you.
Yep.
What do you think is something that, especially with youth, it's hard and like
Mhm.
the communication is hard for a young
Mhm.
person, even though you don't realize, like,
Yep.
sometimes there's like a gap between a player and a coach. Sometimes
Absolutely.
the relationship isn't always the greatest. But
Yep.
what's something a player can do from the player's end, and then what's something a coach can do on the coach's end to sort of um create a little bit more of a stable relationship or some sort of understanding or
Mhm. Um, I think again, just going back to it from the coach's side of showing up, like physically, emotionally, and um, yeah, just showing them that you're not just here for an ulterior motive.
Mm,
And then from the player side, um, I think just being more like open to, being told when you're wrong.
mm,
Because like I feel like a lot of coaches like they look for a player to be wrong and then they really like they go into it like way too much about like making that player feel bad. Like the goal isn't to make that player feel bad, it's to help them through whatever they're going through. So
mm,
um, going through that and letting them know when they're wrong, but also doing it with love.
mm,
And I think that could be, yeah, that I could feel like that would be a barrier that somebody could overcome.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think it's especially when you're young. Like I know I keep saying
Yep.
when you're young, but I think when you're a teenager or like
Hmm.
in middle school,
Yeah.
uh, it's just hard. Like not everyone can just be like a yes, coach.
Yep,
You know?
absolutely. We've dealt with it lots of times, and
Yeah.
it's as from your side, from the coach's side, it's you just respond. If you're doing it right, you respond with love, and then whatever is received, but you've done your part in treating it with love
Mm, hmm.
from that point. Yeah,
For sure.
yeah, because I feel like they get chastised way too much in this society in this generation. Like just
Mm,
I heard so many before I got into coaching. I heard so many people talking about this generation, this next generation is cooked. They're doomed. There's no hope for them. And I really sat back and thought about it. It's like, well, that's all fine and dandy if we're just gonna say it, but are we gonna do something about it?
yeah.
Because like if we're just saying this next generation is doomed, it's like, well, these are the next generation that's gonna look after us. So wouldn't you want to, do something? Like I know easier said than done. I but like, like I had enough of it of just people saying, "Oh, this next generation's cooked." Like, okay, let's do
And
something about it. Like get up and, show up in some way.
yeah.
Be a leader in your community.
Yeah.
You know, do something. Like
Yeah.
just so you can say you did something.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
yeah, so,
No,
that
100%.
was
And yeah, and I think I don't think you believe that either. I don't think you because you've worked with enough youth kids, I don't think you
oh
believe
no.
that
I
they're
don't
cooked. Yeah.
I don't believe that the generation is cooked. I think the support system is
Hmm.
cooked. I think a lot of kids have been put in a lot of places to fail.
Hmm.
Um, and I think it's up to the right people to help. That's what
Interesting.
I think. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What like support systems as in like
Um
or if you don't want to get
I,
into detail, that's okay.
yeah, no
That's
no no,
okay.
like some I don't know, some things I hear from like schooling wise or initiatives that are, based around mental health.
Sure.
Um just social media.
Mhm.
I think those are just couple examples of just
Yeah.
things that I believe I believe could be better. I believe
Mhm.
they were put in the place to be right, but I think it could be better if we
Sure.
just, we change some things and, um, really started doing it for their sake, not ours.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
yeah, I'll say, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. No, no, I appreciate you saying that, and that's a really good point. And that's the
yeah,
hardest thing. It doesn't have to be football, it doesn't have to be coaching. Like
yeah,
in a like any sort of relation you have with somebody, it's like, are you saying the thing for you, or are you saying the thing for the person's best interest? And that's the hardest thing, even as the
yeah.
person saying it, like catching it, like, wait, am I saying this for the right reasons? Like,
Yep.
you know?
I've seen it in the football world. Like football for me was just a medium for, helping out. Like I wanted to back in I want to say March 2023 before I started coaching, I was like, I felt like something was missing and I wanted to get involved in my community. So
Hmm.
I immediately just searched up the football team in the area and just started to inquire. That was how I started coaching. But I think just any medium that feels, natural and right to you, I think is a step in a really great direction.
Hmm.
It was just football for me. So
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
for sure. For sure. Regards to only a couple more questions, but regards to parents who,
Okay.
because parents are really like, not all parents, but
Hmm.
like parents are quite can be quite involved
Absolutely.
in sport, obviously, because it's your child.
Right.
Um, what's some advice you would give to parents, or what's something that you not necessarily advice, but what's something that you notice that parents do
Mm.
um that from a coach's perspective, like, do you think sometimes they're a little bit too involved, or do you think their heart's in the
Hmm.
right place, but they don't know how to like help their
Hmm.
kid go on a certain path? Like,
Yeah.
could you kind of speak on that a bit?
Oh, absolutely. So even with my Oakville Titans, I'm also recruiting for them for, our youth teams. And whenever I'm talking to a parent and a parent tells me, I'm sorry for all of these questions, I stop them right there and I say, ask me every single question that you think you have, and please hold me over the fire to them. I need parents to really vet and really understand who's going to be around their child for, let's say, 6 hours a week,
Mm,
because that person or organization is going to have a huge impact on that kid. And whether it's a positive or negative impact, that's up to the organization or the person. So I think parents need to really ask more questions, really vet who's around them and what decisions are being made about that kid. I think
mm,
that I think with I think every single not every, 90% of problems that come up with youth sports, not just football but youth sports in general, is because we there wasn't enough questions asked.
mm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
and when I say that to parents, I think that kind of takes them aback because they've probably dealt with somebody who doesn't want many questions asked
Mm,
and probably wants to hide behind either an organization or, things that they do just for the public.
mm,
No, I want people to ask me every single question. I want you to really make me think about an answer. Um, I really stress that ask me any question you think you have. No question is a
mm,
stupid question.
That's awesome. I love how that you try to work with the parents.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, they're spending their money to for you to be around their kid and hopefully that kid take away something.
Right.
And not everybody is able to do that. And you need to find the right person to do that.
Hmm. What
So,
are what what are some like, okay, let's say you're a parent and you
mhm,
want to sign your kid up, or your kid's like, I want to play this sport.
mhm,
What are some red flags or green flags to look out for when signing up for a particular organization?
hmm.
Or with dealing with a coach or
For sure. Yeah, yeah. Hmm, what is a red flag? Oh, you really put me on the spot here.
thanks, man, I try.
Um, yeah, absolutely. Hold me to the fire, Reina. Um, I think how the organization deals with adversity
Mm,
and or adversity with your particular kid, how would they handle a certain situation?
mm,
Because when everything's going right, it's great. It's fantastic. It's sunshine and rainbows. But what happens when something happens? How do you deal with it? How is your What's your personality like when you're dealing with adversity? Because the kid's gonna pick up on that too,
right.
right? They see everything, right? They
Mm,
see they see all of your triumphs, but they see all of your mistakes as well, and how that resonates with that kid depends on that kid, right? And
mm,
it's not for everybody.
mm,
Um, yeah, I think the main one is how do you deal with adversity? Yeah,
mm, mm. Thank you. No, yeah, because I couldn't imagine what it's like being a parent. I only know what it's like being a kid.
yeah.
Like,
No,
yeah,
it's very that's yeah. I say I don't have that experience yet, but I like the one day I do, I'm like everything around my kid is going to be vetted and make sure that I'm putting that my kid into the best place to succeed. So
right, right, for
yeah.
sure. Um, couple more questions. Um, what what's something that destroys team culture?
um I think the yeah, and I've dealt with this recently of you know the quit, like
Hmm,
something happens and then somebody just wants to give up, right? Because that's
hmm,
the easy thing to do, not work through it or try to find a solution that fits both parties. um yeah, that really could decimate because once one person quits, then there's going to be a crowd that follows,
hmm, hmm,
and I think that'll just decimate a team culture where, oh, this person left, well, maybe I should too, like, and everything like that. Whereas I think if you fight through that instant moment of I want to quit, I think you could find a really reasonable solution at the end of that.
hmm, hmm, hmm.
The easy part of, okay, I say I'm hold it, throw in the towel, and that's it. But yeah, having that personality of just I'm gonna quit if I find something hard.
Right, right.
Yeah,
Hmm. I wouldn't have thought of that. Thank you, coach.
yeah, I got you. Yeah, no, I think uh yeah, because that quit, you could even like silent quit of just showing up every day, but like not being physically present, like
Mm, mm.
just being there, but you're having like a negative attitude all the time,
Yeah,
and um just again finding that easy part out of just, okay, well, I'm just not going to care. Like
yeah.
even if I have to be here, I'm just not going to care. I'm not going to do the drills right. I'm not going to pump up my teammates. I'm not going to do anything. And then
Mm,
that could also decimate a team culture.
hmm, hmm, for sure.
Yeah,
Um, no, I appreciate that answer a lot.
yeah.
Um, last question. What's what's an insight or what's something um how do I word this? What's a question that you wish you were asked that you don't get asked?
Like in terms of like being a coach role.
Like let's say you get interviewed all the time and
Okay.
someone's always interviewing you about like, um, because you're Tristan, bro. Coach at U
Mm-hmm.
of T, you know?
Yeah.
And then
Yep.
someday you're gonna be coaching in the CFL and stuff. So what's sometimes you get asked questions, but then you're like, ah, it would be really cool if I was asked this. And it could be anything. It could be from any POV, it could
Mm-hmm.
be anything. Just something that's important to you or something you're like, this could be useful for somebody.
what do you do outside of football?
Hmm.
I think
Why?
that's a I think that's a question because, in that world we're all, very like highly driven, and we're all working towards whatever our goals are within football. But who are you outside of the field or off the field? What do you do that makes you happy with if
Mm-hmm.
it's not football?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I recently, before my Instagram name and my nickname throughout my most of my life was T, right? You
Yeah.
know me as T. A
Yeah,
lot of
no,
people know me as T. So I kind of adopted that when I started coaching. I was Coach T, which
yeah.
is, but recently I had a coach who came to me and we sat down and he was like, you know, there's so many Coach T's out there, right? Because I'm not the only person with T as my name there. But who's Coach Tristan Rumeo?
Mm-hmm.
Who's he? What does he do? What does he like? What doesn't he like? And I've it's really made me look at who are you outside of football, and there's only one you. Like there's a million Coach T's, but there's only one Coach Tristan Rumeo.
Mm-hmm.
And I really resonated with that in terms of who am I?
Mm-hmm.
What do I stand for? What separates me from the next coach?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I've really had to, like, these last couple months, figure that out. I'm growing and I'm learning not only as a coach but as a man, and I feel like that's an important part of who are you. And
Mm-hmm.
because everything that you do, I always say to my guys, it's how you do the little things is how you do everything.
Mm-hmm.
So the little things in terms of, what makes you happy when you wake up first thing in the morning? Uh, what do you do when you're in a funk and you can't rely on football? You, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think having to ask myself those questions has really helped my development just as a person,
Mm-hmm.
and being able to show up way more for my athletes. But also, more importantly, for me, because if I'm not me, then I can't show up for them, and then that's a negative for my athletes, and I
Mm-hmm.
never want to do that. Like I never want to, and we all have bad days, but it's how you kind of work through those bad days that makes you who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so just figuring out, who's
Mm-hmm.
Tristan Romeo, right?
Mm-hmm.
And from there, just living that.
Yeah, 100%. No, I agree. And like that's the reason why. I mean, one of the reasons why, well, I mean, I've always wanted to do something like this where I like talk to athletes and coaches and people in the sports world and start growing, but I don't think I was quite ready yet. Like if I had
Mm-hmm.
started this like 3 years ago, I don't think looking back I would have been useful or like great at
Mm-hmm.
it. Not that I'm great at it now, but I think well sorry, long-winded answer, but the reason why I wanted to do next play was because I think I really truly believe the more you grow as an individual, the better athlete you become. Like
Yep.
I just think you approach the game differently. Like you
Mm-hmm.
work hard, but everything takes on a different meaning. Like I'm going to sleep
Mm-hmm.
early, but it's I can't describe it, but it
Mm-hmm.
means something different.
Right.
Like it's just who I like you know the hard things, you just do it.
Yep.
You know, like how
Mm-hmm.
I interact with my teammates. It doesn't matter if I agree or disagree. It's just like you're my teammate and
Yep.
we have one, like
Yep.
I can, I know how to communicate with coaches way better than I could have 3 years ago.
Absolutely.
Because I've grown
Yep.
as a person and that sort of conflict is
Yep.
less scary to,
Absolutely. Yep.
like
Yep.
I could keep going
Yeah.
on and on, but
No, I totally understand.
yeah.
When I was about 23 or 24, I was going through, a um major tough time in my life. And so I sat down and I worked on myself for, a year and a half. And that's when I decided, okay, I'm ready to go out there and do something in the community. But if I had done that before I had done all of that work on myself and figured out, kind of where I was, I don't think I would have been. I would still be coaching. Like
Mm,
I think I think that time was needed
mm,
for me to grow into the person I'm still becoming, but that I am today.
mm, mm,
So
mm, mm.
yeah,
Yeah, it's just the timing is just timing's crazy.
I call it divine timing because
Yeah.
just everything happens when it should happen. That's why I
Mm,
never really fret about not getting an opportunity or
mm.
whatever, because I know that if it's truly meant for me, it's going to happen
Yep.
just at some point.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And I heard someone say once, you can get everything that you want, but maybe just not at the same time.
yeah, yep,
Yeah.
that's absolutely
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but yeah, no, I'm gonna stop the recording. But
Yeah,
yeah, thank you so much, T. I
I'm
appreciate
always
it.
I'm
Just
always here
go.
for you.
Thank you, man. I'm just gonna stop it.
Recording stopped.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much,
That
bro.
was
I really
awesome.
that was awesome. You are awesome. I've been
You're awesome.
no, I wanted to interview you properly for
Hmm.
a while, but the past month, like I just got back from New Zealand.
Nice.
Yeah, so just adjusting back to Japan life, and our season started last week.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah. So we have a game this week. Mommy's
Are
in.
any of your games streamed?
Yeah, they are streamed, but don't get any ideas. It's fine. You don't have to watch.
I want to watch. What are
You
you
don't have to
talking
watch,
about?
bro. You don't have to watch. It's okay. It's okay. I can send you highlights. How about that?
No, I absolutely want to watch Raina. What are you talking about? Are you kidding me?
Listen, yo, listen. You know what's crazy?
Mm.
Like, I love defense, and listen, I know. Okay, it doesn't sound like anything. It doesn't sound like anything, but like, there are some angles
Mm-hmm.
because of football where I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
it's mine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know. Yeah,
You know,
I
and it's like, yo, it's mine. Like,
know.
and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I miss I miss football so much. I do miss football so much. And I was talking with this rowing athlete
Okay.
a couple months ago, and she's like an Olympian. She's sick, and she was saying actually she started off as a skier, and then she had some major
Okay.
injury. She stopped doing sports for a while, and then she got into rowing in her early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, nothing like skiing is her first love, and like rowing is a different kind of love. And I think
Mm-hmm.
I resonate with that because like rugby is like it's a different kind of love. I've had to like
Yep.
grow into loving it, like I still
Mm-hmm.
am, and it's like my vehicle to make my dreams come true. Whereas like football is just, I mean, you say football and I'm like my heart melts, man. Like
Always. Always.
always, always.
There's there's no feeling better or anything like it than just
No.
getting ready in that changing room and running out onto the field,
Mm-hmm.
and every game that I have, I always take a second to myself. Like I head onto the end zone, I
Mm-hmm.
just take a quick knee and I just kind of thank my journey and everyone and the universe
Mm-hmm.
for where I am now
Mm-hmm.
and just being grateful.
Mm-hmm.
But no, there's nothing like it. It was so weird. Like even the first game I ever coached in, um, was weird. It was on one of those Niagara fields that we had
Oh
played
yeah.
for our Warriors
Yeah.
games, and we were getting lined up for All Canada, and I had the exact same feeling I had that when I played,
Mm.
and it was brain. I'm telling you, it was the craziest feeling ever because I thought I would never get that feeling again,
Mm.
and I'm just standing there and we're all wearing the same uniform and we're on a football field and
Yeah.
it's like I'm home.
Yeah.
I understand where I am. I understand this is where I'm meant to be right now.
Yeah.
And from there I was hooked. Like I was like there's no way I'm ever getting out of this now cuz like I can't I can't not have that feeling again.
Yeah.
And just that might sound a little selfish, but
No.
it's like it's what makes me happy.
Mm. Mm.
Uh, and then going out and just watching all of these kids who love the same game that I love.
Mm.
It's like, how can I not be happy right now?
Yeah.
Like this is Like this is amazing.
Yeah, bro, you made me tear up a little bit. You made me tear up a little bit.
And honestly, like even the
Uh,
last couple of days with Kian winning the Grey Cup,
yeah,
like crazy.
yeah. We all
But
knew it.
and reconnect, like yeah,
Mm.
the man's a baller.
He's a beast.
But just reconnecting with all of those old Warrior guys now, and like reminiscing about those days, and um, oh my god, I was just and oh, there's no feel. I don't know. I could
Yeah, it's
just
special. It's
it's
special.
special.
It's like
It's absolutely special.
one of us, like it's like one of our guys, like lifting that great cup.
Yep.
It's an extension of all of us. So
And
it's
yeah,
special, man.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but
You
everything's good. Like
everything's really great. Just signed on for another season of Titans. Yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm
coach of
doing.
the you said D coach of the year.
Okay,
Come on, I saw
let's
that.
slow. Not yet, not yet. We'll get
No,
there at some point.
okay, okay.
But yeah, doing U14 and U16 this
Mhm,
summer.
mhm,
And then also Team Ontario being brought back for the second year, but this time as an actual position coach.
mhm.
Uh, I got the promotion there, which I'm very excited about, and I put the work in. Thank you. Um, and doing the camp that I'm doing in Toronto with one of the other UFT coaches,
Mhm.
um, which is a paid opportunity, which is huge. That's like, yeah, like thank you. It's
So
like,
many claps.
yeah, but just everything's kind of working itself out,
Yep.
and I feel like I'm on that right path. So
Yep.
I just gotta keep just keep working, be the person that I am, and continue to make an impact like I do, and everything will take care of itself afterwards.
100%, and you're earning it step by step. And once you get your feet
Yeah,
on the
I
tracks,
don't want to take any shortcuts. Like
no.
I want to do this the right way, because I'm already coming out of like I've always looked at it like a disadvantage
What?
until some of not having uni playing experience, because
It makes you more
most
relatable.
of I think, yeah, but I always like from stepping into it, I felt like I was at a disadvantage because everybody around me in my field, most of them have uni experience. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to work my ass off, which I'm fine with. I'm always fine with working my ass off and paying my dues and working towards it. I find it because I find the payoff in the end is just way much better.
Yeah.
But just I've had a couple of coaches tell me, like even when I was interviewing for a coaching position in the summer, they were like, I told them, I was like, listen, I don't have any uni experience, but I brought like what you'll be getting is a hardworking, passionate, football loving guy. And the coaches, they stopped me. They're like, don't ever say that in an interview ever again, because we're not looking for the person you were 7 years ago. We're looking for the person you are right now. Doesn't matter what you have done. It's only what you bring to the table right now. And when I looked at that, and like this was an interview that like for a position that I wanted, and they're telling me like, we don't care that you don't have uni experience. We don't care about that. We want somebody who's going to come in every day, work their ass off for the kids, and be the best version of themselves every day. So from that point, I stopped looking at it as a disadvantage, and I started looking at it like as a badge of honor.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't have uni experience, but I'm still working my ass off, and I'm still getting the things I want. So it's kind of made me do a whole 180 on how I look at everything now.
Yeah.
And from that point on, nothing can stand in my way.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it was just such a breakthrough moment for me.
Yeah.
Like in that quick moment,
yeah.
like these guys they don't care. Like they don't have to say that, but they did, because they're like, no, we want you because we like what we see from you.
Yeah, no,
like, and even like changing my name on Instagram from Coach T to Coach Tristan Rumeo, that was Darrell Adams. Like we were just sitting watching the Metro Bowl the other day, and he just types up a quick note on his phone because people were in the room, and he just showed it to me and read it to me. And I was like, this man like still cares to develop me. Like that's amazing. Like he did not have to say that, but he went ahead and did it anyways.
Yeah.
It's those things that's like, okay, like somebody's invested in me. Okay, well now I have to show up for them. Like there's no way in hell I'm not going to show up and give you my best. So, now I'm just rocking and rolling and just,
Hey man, don't forget. Listen, you are an investable asset.